It's a big time in world sport at the moment. NBA finals on, the World Cup, FIFA World Cup starting. Just a reminder that it's the biggest sporting event in the world, and there's obviously so much pressure that comes along with that. And what's interesting to me is what pressure does to people, even the best in the world. They've got to respond or react. They've got the choice, and most of the better ones and most of the good moments come from composure and responding to these moments. But there's obviously always times when people react. One that comes to mind straight away is David Beckham being sent off against Argentina in 1998.
White was required, and there was that challenge on Beckham. And Beckham, now whether Beckham accidentally smacked into the defender, Simeone, the midfielder, I don't know. But Beckham's holding his head. I think a yellow card is going to be brandished here somewhere, and it might be to David Beckham. Now Shearer's telling Batistuta not to get involved. The two captains there.
Well, Brian, it could be a red card. That's what Alan Shearer's worried about.
What, for Beckham?
Yes, because he retaliated. And
it's a yellow card. Wait a minute, he's taking another card out for Beckham. It's a red card for David Beckham. Oh, no. So Beckham is out of the game.
Right in front of the referee, Brian.
And Simeone gets the yellow card. That certainly is worth and bears looking at again.
A moment he still regrets to this day, he says, still. So the other one is Zidane, one of the greatest ever to do it, but ending his final World Cup match with the headbutt heard around the world.
See, he did what? This is going to give us a bit more of a clue. He said something. He certainly said something. Now what happens? He's saying some more. Well, the pictures tell the story. He leaves football in disgrace. And he leaves his team in big trouble. France down to 10 men. And the showpiece of the World Game has an unsavoury moment here that will make the headlines beyond the result, I feel.
Those moments, you can see that emotions took over and they were reactive to those, to the pressure. There's another side of that though. Pressure doesn't actually care how talented you are. It's all about internalising and then what comes out outwardly after that. So it's always about what is going on internally at the time. But the other side of it is that it obviously creates some really good moments too. And what makes sport really, really powerful is the differences in those moments. You look at John Aloisi putting us into the World Cup in 2006 with that penalty. There's huge pressure on him. The final kick, the final penalty in the shootout.
That means that if John Aloisi can score this goal, Australia will be there.
Are you sure?
I'm trying to do my maths. I can hardly.
4-2.
I can hardly
he wins it for us, John.
Here's Aloisi for a place in the World Cup.
For us.
He scored! Australia have done it!
Come on!
John Aloisi, the Confederations Cup hero, has done it in the biggest game of all.
Come on, Australia! Johnny Warren!
At last, at long last, 31 years, 4 months and 24 days have passed since Australia ended its campaign at the 74 World Cup. And now, finally, belatedly, wonderfully and joyfully, Australia is back on the biggest stage. What a night! What drama, what tension. And it's ended in success, and Gus Hiddink is a legend.
Oh, he's a freak, he's a genius, and his legend grows. But these guys talk about legends. They knew what they could achieve coming into these two games. John Aloisi, who better to get us through? A guy who's always put the national team first. It's cost his career at times. Comes from a big football family. Everyone in Adelaide will be going mad down there, right around the country. 32 years, Simon. 32 years, but his career was ended against Uruguay with a chop to the...
He walked up and nailed it, and you could tell. And if you've ever listened to the How We Games podcasts, John Aloisi was on that, explaining that was his moment, and he knew it before it arrived. He'd already been practicing penalties because he'd missed one earlier, a few years earlier, and so he never wanted that feeling again. He wanted to actually be ready. So he learnt how to deal with that pressure. He learnt how to respond rather than let it get on top of him. You look at Leo Messi having the pressure of Argentina as a whole, basically. All the expectation and criticism of not having won at the World Cup, and then finally he gets to lift the cup. And you even go back to Maradona, who just had so many brilliant moments at the World Cup, runs and goals and things that people still talk about decades later, and that's why he's considered one of the best. And that, to me, is not just talent. When you get to the pointy end of the competition, talent levels are probably pretty similar, skill and experience is all pretty much the same. It comes down to internalising the pressure and choosing a composed response over pure reaction. Those moments and that pressure is what makes the difference to me. Some people react emotionally, some people are already good at responding properly. People slow down and trust themselves and respond with clarity, which is where the difference lies. And honestly, that's not just sport, that's life.